1996 Vauxhall Calibra. This is the 2-litre 16 valve model. Unusually, this one is coming from Japan, hence all of the Opel badging. Obviously on the continent of Europe and then of Japan. Most of the territories, these were badged as Opels instead of Vauxhalls. Obviously we have Vauxhall in the UK. This one was brought in 2021, so it's only been in the country, well, September 21, so not long at all. Obviously the Japanese import ones, they don't see any salt, they don't see as much cold, harsh winters as we do. So generally a better condition. This one actually went through the auctions in Japan as a grade 4 BB, which again for a 1996 car is as close to perfect as you're going to get. This one's on 58,000 kilometers, that's 36,500 miles, so no mileage at all, really low mileage. And again, rare again, it is an automatic, which again you don't see very often. Unusually coming from Japan, it has come with some good service history. It's all in Japanese, but again, the joy of Google Translate is you can just hover your phone straight over it. It'll let you know exactly what it is. And it is in the standard Vauxhall Opel books and all that sort of stuff. So if you're a bit of a Vauxhall guy or girl, you'll recognise those. Let's start by having a look at the bodywork. If we start on the driver's side, look down this side, you can see it's lovely and straight all the way down there. It's not ripply, it's not full of filler. Front driver's wing, you've got a little scuff just here that wants a good polish over and over it to get rid of that. The arch itself is lovely and sharp all the way around. No sign of any corrosion, especially down the bottom here where the moisture sort of sits. You can see that's lovely and clean. The correct spec alloy wheels with the centre caps. And it's got 4 good tyres all around. You can see loads of tread left in those. I'm going to pop the camera underneath at this point because again, one of the reasons for buying a Japanese import is they are lovely and clean underneath. I appreciate that is a little bit dark under there. See if we can lighten that up a bit. But it is really clean under there, as you can see. This trim along the bottom on the driver's side fits lovely and straight all the way along. All the panel gaps are good. All the plastics are lovely. They're not dried out, they're not faded, they're not covered in back to black. Really good. Glass on the driver's side, lovely and clear all the way around. No real marks to note there. It does have a little aftermarket Opel door protector there. Easy enough to remove if that's not something you want. You've got this seam down here with, other than a bit of dried polish in it, it's lovely and clean. Even the jack and point covers are there on the little sill cover. And then this rear arch, you can see just how sharp and clean that is all the way around. Really good. Another good wheel and tyre. It's not really any marks at all to note on the driver's side. Really nice and tidy. Very clean coming up that pillar along the edge of the roof. And then that front A pillar again, nice and tidy. All the rubber around the screen is good. On the leading edge of the screen there as well, there's no sign of any stone chips or corrosion. The roof, lovely and straight, it's not ripply or dented. It's got a couple of little sort of bird poo marks, water marks, which will polish straight out, I would think. Coming round onto the back, the rear bumper sits lovely and straight and level. The both tail lights are bright and clear. There's no cracks or any moisture or anything in those. Obviously Japanese spec plate, easy enough to put on a UK spec if you want. It does have this little lip with the Opel badge on again. That's not to your taste, it's easy enough to peel that off. Lower half of that rear bumper, again lovely and clean. You can probably get a better look underneath him. You can see just how clean that is there. If you imagine that compared to a UK car. Not a speck of rust or anything at all to see there. Right, coming round onto the passenger side, and again if we look up there, lovely and straight, clean, it's not full of filler or ripples or anything like that. Rear arch, just as good as the other side, lovely and sharp all the way around. Camera really doesn't do justice how good that lip is. Lovely and clean on that rear tyre, no marks at all on the alloy. Does have these little rim protectors on them again, but they're easy enough to take off if you want to remove those. Obviously done their job though, because the alloys are good. Rear pillar up onto the roof again, nice and tidy. Quite an unusual colour this. Sort of very of the period of the mid-90s. Suits the car really well, I think. Looks nice out in the daylight as well, it's got a bit more shine to it. Have another look underneath from here. And you can see, just as clean on this side. Really good, not caked in under seal or anything like that. Lovely and clean coming down the rear, down the passenger side. We've got one very small stone chip just there. That is how picky we're having to be on this car because it is really clean and tidy. Again, this side's got the little door protector on. You've got a tiny little bit of lacquer peel on the edge of the wing mirror there. Definitely worth pointing that out. And then front arch, again, they've got this sort of plastic arch liner, but you can see where it meets the bodywork. On the UK cars, it gets all corroded and horrible coming out of there, but you can see it's lovely and clean all the way around. Not a speck of dirt in there, really good. And your final good wheel and tyre. Round up the front. Headlights are bright and clear. Lower half of the bumper, all nice and tidy. And again, the bonnet, same as the roof, lovely and straight, no ripples or dents in that. There's not even any stone chips on that leading edge to whinge about. There's one tiny one there if we're being really picky, with a couple more below it. But I am being really picky there. Moving into the interior, it has had a couple of little upgrades in here, so there is those sort of LEDs that for the puddle lights, which just clip on, you can remove them easy enough. And it has had some blue LEDs in the interior lights, but again, if you don't like it, very easy to change back to normal. It's got a full fitted Opel carpet set in there as well, which is a nice touch. Lovely and clean on those rear benches. Backs of the seats are good, they've not been kicked or abused or anything like that. No real signs of any wear on the steering wheel at all. Like I say, 58,994 miles. It's about 36,500, 36,600, something like that. We'll put the exact conversion in the description. Does have a Pioneer aftermarket head unit there, but we do have the original in the boot should you want it. Lovely and clean in here, like I say, there's no sign of any sort of funny smells or moisture or anything like that at all. Really good. And then into the boot, like I say, we do have the original factory spec head unit in there. Carpet set and everything in the back is nice and tidy. We do have another blue LED in here. If we lift this up, you can see the boot floor. Again, really good. No sign of any moisture. They're brand new in there. Again, like I say, compare it to a UK car. Huge difference. And then into the passenger side, lovely and clean on that door card. There's no real signs of any wear on the passenger seat. I think we did sort of skip over the driver's seat a little bit, so we'll go back around there as well and have a good look at that. But no real signs of any wear on there. It does look dirty on the camera, but it's that sort of cloth, almost Alcantara. It's not Alcantara, but that same sort of thing. So it goes with the camera. It is just sort of the camera light. It's not ingrained with dirt or anything like that. So like I say, we'll go back to this driver's seat. Lovely and tidy on that bolster. There's no sign of any wear either side there. Really nice and firm. No ingrained dirt. The headlining, again, lovely and clean. Really tidy, this car. Kind of makes for a boring video not having anything to whinge about, but it does make for a very good car. And then under the bonnet, we've got that 2 litre Ecotec. It does have chitties for timing belts there as well. Again, we'll go through that service history, we'll translate it, and we'll mention it in the description. No sign of any corrosion on the front here. It's even got the original battery cover, which is a lovely touch. Nice and clean around the strut tops. So we parked here about an hour. There's no fluid dropping out from underneath or anything like that. We're going to get it started up. So it sounds just like it should around the front. Nothing nasty flying out the back. So there you have it. Warning light wise, we've got one on for a bulb and then one for the seatbelt, obviously because no one's in there with the seatbelt on. So nothing nasty on the dash. So there you have it. Japanese import, super low mileage, super tidy, Vauxhall Opel Calibra. Any questions at all, please get in touch. Thank you.